Oh, the diddler. P. Diddy. You know y'all talked about P. Diddy? All y'all said P. Diddy was washed. All y'all seen him whap and tap on Cassie. Y'all said he was done. I ain't forgot. Now, what if P. Diddy ended up getting off? Oh, now he might have whap tap on Cassie, but she was with the BS too. He said he's a swinger. A lot of these people that y'all look up to, swingers too, do all this kind of stuff. They just didn't get caught.
Complete in the federal sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, and it has been an eventful week. One juror admitted to doom-scrolling memes. Another was too tired from binge-watching Andor. One had even worked with the judge. I'm going to talk with our very own law and crime reporter, Elizabeth Milner, to break down what to expect on the final day of jury selection and what's ahead in this highly anticipated trial. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Jury selection entered its third day yesterday on May 7th in the high-profile sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, as prosecutors and defense attorneys officially narrowed down a pool of 45 potential jurors. Now, the final panel will decide the fate of...
Just think you was wearing minks a week ago. You had your dye going. You was on top of the game. Too Short had a song. It was all good just a week ago. And all y'all counted him out. But I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. All y'all said P. Diddy was guilty. I'm saying he's guilty of some things, but some of the stuff they charge him with, they overcharged this man. Did you know they got the RICO ain't even on no more? Now they trying to make a plea deal. Soccer dockers.
The 55-year-old music mogul who faces charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted of some of the most serious charges, he could face life in prison. So by the end of the proceedings yesterday, you had 45 prospective jurors secured for selection. And of that group, meaning what I'm saying is they're going to move forward to the next stage of the process when court resumes on Friday. Of that group, you're going to have 12 jurors who are selected and 6 alternates who are selected. There's going to be a combination of preemptory challenges from the prosecution and the defense to whittle that number down. But it's going to be interesting to see what ultimately happens, because this selection process has delved into very sensitive topics. Each juror had to be asked whether they or someone close to them had experience with sexual assault, harassment, domestic violence. Maybe they've been accused of crimes. And they've been...
Okay. DV. Assault. I'm not championing this. I'm not saying it's cool. But y'all giving him the RICO? Y'all trying to give him trafficking? Wait a minute. Y'all probably overcharged this guy, man. He might beat the whole thing. It's cold.
Quite transparent. At least that's what it seems to have been. They've been transparent about these issues. And this case, by the way, has evolved significantly over the past several months. The indictment has been amended multiple times. There have been several superseding indictments. Right now, we have the third superseding indictment in which Combs faces 5 criminal counts. 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, before we go any further into this and talk about what we can expect for tomorrow, I want to bring on our very own law and crime reporter, Elizabeth Milner, who was at the courthouse for jury selection. She is going to be there, by all accounts, every day of this trial, particularly next week when we think everything's going to start up. Good to see you. Thanks for taking...
So this right here, this is a good little chassis, a little wifing material. But see, y'all don't want that. She got these little no-name tennis shoes. She got this dress on, look like she went to the Salvation hop, look like she going to a sock hop. Come on, man. I know y'all want the hottie, the baddie to be the wifey, but if they got them lashes on, see, this right here, nephew, see, this will raise the children, and all your children will go to college. But y'all don't want that. Oh, I want the elusive red bone.
Taking the time before your life gets quite busy.
Of course.
So what were some of the highlights from this week of jury selection, and particularly when you were in the court?
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest highlight was just that everybody from all these different walks of life were inside that courtroom to pretty much be qualified to see whether or not that they can move into the next process as far as being an actual juror on this very, very high profile trial. I think some of the memorable moments for me were just one, the transparency amongst these prospective jurors. You know, they had to talk about, you know, past trauma. They had to talk about where they had worked. They had to talk about their personal lives as far as whether or not they had kids, they're married. They had to talk about what type of publications and news outlets that they get their news from. They had to talk about, you know, their social media habits, especially when it comes to this particular case. Like some of the prospective jurors did admit to, for example, doom scrolling, liking some posts that they perceived to be pretty funny, just about the case overall in general. Some people were very forthcoming as to whether or not they had seen any of the documentary. And surprisingly, a lot of these prospective jurors did say that they could be fair and impartial. And that's even including some who have even seen the CNN video, that of the 2016.
I don't know. If you've seen that one situation when he was whapping and tapping upside the woman's head, you're probably going to be a little impartial, especially if you went through that. You know?
Intercontinental Hotel of Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie, you know, and of course we have.
Now he did assault, but she was with all of the stuff because she been there for 10 plus years. Then you hooked her up with the trainer and she gonna leave with the trainer. See, when your woman get a trainer, that's AKA for manstress. Oh, he gonna take your chick. Ask Tom Brady about it.
You have to still say allegedly and all of that sort. But as far as jury selection goes, I'm surprised at how quickly the process is going. Because I remember on Monday speaking about it, I was like, no way can they get a jury seated in this week for this high profile of a trial. It was very efficient, exactly, from the moment that they brought in these jurors to the questions that they were asking. Even Diddy himself inside that courtroom seemed very involved as far as what type of jurors that he would particularly like to be on his case, potentially. Because again, they still have to dwindle that number down from 45 to 18. So they still have to knock off a lot of prospective jurors. Now, they're not going to be in court on Friday, but we still could get a very good glimpse as to who these 18 individuals will be, especially if they have to report back on Monday.
Hey, so look, I know a lot of you out there might be true crime fans, but are you also in a business of...
So yeah, man, we got old P. Diddy, the diddler. Is it gonna go down? Is he gonna get 25 years? It's a cold game, man. I mean, when I was young, man, see, I was around all this stuff, nephew. I watched the rise of Death Row Records. I watched the rise and the fall. I watched P. Diddy come up, the rise, the fall. You know? I never would have thought this is how it was going to end, but, you know, Suge was a cold guy. You know, I was in Las Vegas the night when Pac got, you know, deleted. Because I was going to the club, was it club 602 or 702? We was trying to go and see the after party. Because we were like, we're not going to the fight, but we're going to go to the club afterwards. So we was getting ready for the club, but the club was like, something wasn't right. I'm like, what's going on? Why didn't, you know, everybody ain't here? It was jumping back then. I can't remember, 99, 2000, somewhere back in then, y'all. So me and my loved one, I was in the back. I heard people talking, man. Woo, Pac got shot. Pac. I was like, oh man, Pac got shot. That's why it ain't jumping off tonight at the club. Yeah, we rolled back down Las Vegas Boulevard, and then I seen the BMW. At that time, that BMW was clean. That was like a Maybach or something. He had them like chrome wheels that looked like they were spokes. That was like, they had probably some 20s on them. That was like he was on 24s, man. That was and we like, oh, look at the car. I seen the car right there on Las Vegas. I didn't see the particular incident, but I was right around that area. I was like, man, we just was right in the area coming down here when it jumped off. So, you know, life, man. It's a funny thing. We got old P. Diddy, man. The diddler. He might get off. Seems like a black man is always on the chopping block. Now they at the old Smokey. Then they just was at the old Shannon Shea Sharp. Then they whapped and tapped on the game and got him out the paint. took his house. Hey, fellas, is it worth it? Reparations, the Joe Budden podcast. That's why I try to teach my nephews about this modern dating game. A woman can bring a man to ruins. Hey, nephew, you're going to have to eat it. Nephew, when you go through something, you can't go off. You can't be upset. You got to get in where you fit in and put yourself in position and get the woman that fits you like a glove, Jack. That's why picking that wife is the coldest thing you ever gonna do in life. All of these men have lost millions, have lost their freedom. All of these men have lost his house, his family, all behind chasing that box, that elusive red bone. Ooh, Keisha got him cooked out here. Even the President Obama can't even keep his batch in line. But I'm still going to swing the bat. Because if it ain't her, it's her anyway. And when I spit my game, my woman going to take to it. I know you say it's not love at first sight, bull crap. Because the women that I done had and been in my life, as soon as I spit my game, bam, it was on. The next day, we're going on a date. It's on right away. All this pursuing for months. She's using you, nephew. Why you got to talk about womenism? Because I'm trying to help you. The women in these men's life have brought them to ruins. And dealing with a woman, you think it's easy, nephew? Yeah, you're going to have to go through some things. P. Diddy dealing with Cassie 10 years. He gave her $30 million to go away. Then she come back and ride with the feds.